Hey guys, welcome to or back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jess and this is my February TBR. So every month I play a TBR game where I take my little index cards with prompts on them and I lay out 20 and I use a random number generator to pick 5. Those 5 prompts correlate to the 5 books I'll be reading that month, and yeah, that's the gist of the game. There are a couple of rules. My first rule is that if a number is generated twice, then we will add an extra book onto the end of the TBR. We will add another roll. And the other rule is that whatever I don't finish in the month prior automatically gets added onto this month's TBR. So without further ado, let's get into it. So in the month of January, I was not able to complete 3.5 of my books on my TBR. So I'm about halfway through Layer of Dreams right now, but I am filming this on January 31st and I do not anticipate finishing it before tonight is over. So this will be getting added onto my TBR, as well as After Alice by Gregory Maguire, Well Met by Jim DeLuca, and Alice's Adventures in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. So I am not going to go into a bunch of detail with these because I did talk about them in much detail in my last TBR, my January TBR. So if you are interested in learning more about any of these 4 books that are on this TBR, please go down to my description and there will be a link to my January TBR and feel free to watch that so that you can get a gist of what these are about. But yeah, these are the first 4 books on my TBR for this month. Roll number 1, 20. So nonfiction, and that will be replaced with green. So our first roll got us nonfiction, so this is any nonfiction book on my shelves. The first roll was nonfiction, and I personally have not ever been a really huge nonfiction reader. However, this past year I've tried to read a little bit more of it, so I'm going to try to continue that and try to read some more nonfiction. And I have chosen for this prompt, Cast The Origins of Our Discontents by Isabel Wilkerson. So this is her exploring the hidden caste system that exists in America today and that has always existed in America throughout history, and I'm excited to really get to dive into this and see what she has to say. And yeah, I'm excited to read this, and this is my nonfiction book for this month. Roll number 2, 19. So male main character, and that will be replaced with gray. So prompt number 2 was male main character. So this is any book that has a male main character. So I have a lot of books that have male main characters. However, I picked one that has been on my shelves for the longest time, and I need to get it on my TBR because I need to just read it and get it done with, and that is Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. So this follows a young boy named Pip who is a commoner, not very wealthy, and he is in love with this lady, and she rejects him because he is a commoner and he is not wealthy. Well, he vows to become a bigger, better person in society, and he ends up stumbling across a fortune and just making great friendships and really just discovering the meaning of love and life and what's important to him. And it's a classic. Normally Charles Dickens books take me forever to read. The only I tried to read, where is it? A Tale of Two Cities. I don't know if you can see it, but it's up there. I listened to that on audiobook and I made it about halfway through it before I just had to put it down because I couldn't even remember what was going on. So I'm taking a break from that one. It's up there. So hopefully I'll have better luck with this one and I will be able to get through it. But yeah, this is the next book on my February TBR. Roll number 3, 12. So, random letter generator, and that will be replaced with paperback. So the third prompt for this month was random letter generator. So what I do with this one is I pull up a random letter generator on my phone, and whatever it gives me, I have to find a book with the author's last name starts with that letter, if that makes sense. So I went ahead and did that on my phone earlier because I'm filming with my phone, so I couldn't really do it at the same time. And the letter I got was T, so this book is something that the author's last name starts with the letter T. And for this prompt, I have chosen Nevermore, The Trials of Morgan Crow by Jessica Townsend. So this is a whimsical middle grade story following a girl named Morgan Crow who is cursed, and she is cursed to die at midnight on her 11th birthday. Well, time's getting closer to that end point, and she is really dreading it, and the whole town is just ready for her to be gone because they think she causes all this bad luck basically, when this mysterious man named Jupiter North shows up and takes her away to this magical city called Nevermore, where she is supposed to join the Wondrous Society. And in order to join the society, she has to compete in 4 very dangerous trials. And so we follow her through this book as she's trying to do this, and it sounds like so much fun. It's whimsical, it's magical, and it's middle grade, so hopefully it'll be super easy to get through. It is a pretty long book, but middle grades normally read really fast, so I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, I'm excited to pick up this one in February. Roll number 4, 3. So, co-author, and that will be replaced with hardcover. So the fourth prompt that we got for this TBR was co-author. When I made this prompt, I had a lot of books that were written by 2 or more authors. However, I have now learned that I only have one, so this was a very easy choice to make. But the book that I had chosen that was written by 2 authors actually is Sky Without Stars by Jessica Brody and Joanne Rendell. So this is the first book in a sci-fi series, and I got this book a very long time ago. It has since, I'm pretty sure the second book just recently came out. I can't think of what it's called though, but it seems to have quite a bit of good reviews for the people that have read it. But it is a sci-fi. I don't know very much about it, so I'm just going to read you the first little part of the summary. So it says, a thief, an officer, a guardian. 3 strangers, 1 shared destiny. When the last days came, the planet of Latir promised hope. But 500 years later, it's now a place where an extravagant elite class reigns supreme, where the clouds hide the stars and the poor starve in the streets, where a rebel group, long thought dead, is resurfacing. Whispers of revolution have begun, a revolution that hinges on 3 unlikely heroes. So it follows 3 different people, and they're on this planet, and apparently they're going to start a revolution. So it sounds super fun, super spacey, and super just fantastical, and I am ready for it. It's a little bit of a chunker. It's about 550 pages, somewhere in there, so it is definitely going to be quite a commitment whenever I do pick it up, but I am excited to get to this month. Roll number 5, and hopefully our last, unless we get a double. 15. So, kids classic, which will be replaced with fiction or fantasy. So the 5th and final prompt for this month's TBR is kids classic. So essentially for a kids classic, I don't have very many options. I have about 4 different copies of The Secret Garden that I could read, or I have this one. And so I figured, as much as I would love to read The Secret Garden again so soon, I need to get this one out of the way and off my shelves. And so because of that reason, I will be reading Peter Pan in Kensington Gardens by J.M. Barrie. I know this just says Peter Pan. That is because, if you remember the Alice in Wonderland book that was on my January TBR. This also has 2 stories in it, and I have read the first one, which is Peter Pan, and so I will be reading the second one, which is Peter Pan in Kensington Gardens. So I really don't know what this story is about. I can't really tell you much, but it is a Peter Pan story, so I am excited to read it just to get that little bit of my childhood back, because that's what kids' stories are for me. So yeah, I'm excited to get to read this. It's very short. It is a kid's book, and you saw that font. It's not like it's pretty big font on pages, so it should not take me very long, and it'll be a nice short little story break from all the big heavy books that I just put on the TBR. So yeah, I'm excited to add this one. So these are the 8.5 books on my TBR for this month. Normally I would hold them up while I close out this video, but they are really heavy and my arms are starting to hurt, so I'm going to put them down. So give me just one second. Okay, so those were the 8.5 books that I will be reading this month. As always, I will link all of them in the description down below. Again, for those first 4, go check out my January TBR if you are looking for a description on those. That will also be linked down below as usual. And as long as the entire TBR playlist, so if you want to see any of those videos down below, I don't think my 2020 ones will be on there. That playlist, that's a separate playlist from this one, and so if you want to see that playlist, just go to my channel, it's on there. Yeah, if you have read any of these books that I've talked about today and you want to let me know what you thought about them, please feel free to do so down below in the comments. Also, let me know what you're planning on reading in February, as I would love to know as usual. And yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and I will see you with another video soon. Bye!